like to thank organizer for organizing this seminar. Having in mind that there are a lot of people here to talk and to discuss, I'll try to be very, very brief. And I will separate my expose in three dimensions. First, I would like to explain you where is Serbia, what Serbia is doing. Then second part, I will tell you about our bilateral relations with China, that is with historical relations. And then third, on top of that, I will talk about the concrete terms about cooperation in medical care regarding the coronavirus fight in Serbia, thanks to Chinese help. First of all, let me explain you where is the Serbia and what Serbia is doing this moment. Serbia is in south part of Europe. They call that from time to time Western Balkans. And Serbian main political foreign policy game and goal is to enter European Union. We start negotiation with European Union 2011. That means 9 years ago. And we open 18 chapters trying to adopt our political economic system to the European Union. Question is very open, and everybody knows that nobody knows for time being when we are going to enter with some other countries to the European Union. Will it be in a couple of years? Will it be in 3-5 years or something like that? But anyhow, we adapt our economy and political system, and we are aiming to European Union because we are part of the Europe. We call that part of the Balkan West, a soft belly of Europe, and we are part of the Europe. But parallel to that thing, you know, to our first political and foreign policy aim, there is a second policy aim, and it is very important, that is cooperation with the most influential powers, with the most influential states, like China, like United States, like Russia, like India, and all others. And that is the space for us to open our cooperation with China. If you allow me just to tell briefly about bilateral relations with China, Serbia was part of Yugoslavia, and we succeed, you know, our relations with China. Yugoslavia recognized China in 1949, and I was very proud to be diplomat, but it was 15 years ago. That means I will talk partly also regarding my experience in China, but China is developing so quickly that one can, with a lot of difficulties to follow that in a positive sense. That means 49, Yugoslavia recognized, and Yugoslavia established relations with China, diplomatic relations, 1955. That was a long time ago, and those are historical relations. I have to mention that in last 5 years, or let's precise 7 years, we have tremendous bilateral development with China. Tremendous. This is not only strategic partnership, that is extraordinary partnership. Because as a compensation, the European Union left us a space to cooperate, then China and other partners enter, but especially China. And I can now try to say some sectors where China is present and especially helping us to recover our economy. One of the sectors that was China very present in Serbia, and of course in the surrounding countries and in all other countries in Europe, is the transport sector and infrastructure. That means that Chinese companies are working now to interconnection between Serbia and Bosnia. Chinese are helping us to develop railroad link. That was crucial for us. That was the part of the Belt and Road Initiative. And this rail is going from Athens via Skopje, via Belgrade to Budapest. That is a very tremendous project for us, important, and I'm really grateful the Chinese are helping us. That means that is the crucial to develop other parts of the economy. That is infrastructure, that is the transport. Another part of Chinese presence in Serbia is in industry. We had a problem with lot of factories, and especially with the steel mill factory that was built during the socialist time, and that was not efficient. We tried to privatize that, and we privatized that to the US Steel Company that took it for 5 years, and after that there was a bankruptcy. We did not know what to do because this company and a mine that was next door was employing about 5,000 workers. That means with the other help, this is 100,000 people. And then Chinese investors came hastily, I think that's the name of the company, invested 1 billion in recovery, in progress. And now we have extraordinary company, steel company, producing and exporting steel. And most of all, giving the people, you know, jobs and not polluting the area. That is something extraordinary, and we are really grateful in that sense. I must add that until now, Chinese invest in Serbia around 10 billion euros. That is the value that, according to my knowledge, Chinese also invest in Sweden. That means that there is a lot of Chinese influence in other parts in Europe. And then another sector, what I would like to make, is the energy sector. Chinese try to recover our energy sector because we have certain thermocentral, you know, on the coal. They are helping us and trying to put also those electricity capacities producing clean energy, not polluted energy. Parallel with that, Chinese are helping us as well in the windmill factories producing electricity. Now, Serbia counting that it will be in a couple of years, maybe next 1-2 years, we will have 25 production of the electricity done by the steel mill, by the windmills. And that is something. Of course, there is other cooperation in a sense in the agriculture, in the cultural sector, in tourism, etc. Let me say in cultural sector, just to mention that we are proud that in Serbian school, now you can learn Chinese language as a foreign language. More and more people, more and more youngsters are learning Chinese language, but not only learning Chinese language, but they're also learning Chinese culture that was old, more than 5,000 years ago, even 10,000 years ago, regarding a lot of Chinese dynasties or etc. And tell me, I will try to be brief as I mentioned, and I will mention also our cooperation in the medical sector, especially fighting against coronavirus. The great help from China came at the beginning of the March, because, you know, we were a bit perplexed, like most of the part of Europe. In Wuhan, we had that infection, everybody heard, and everybody thought in Europe, okay, it won't come to us. But it came very, very widely to the part of Europe, as you know, in Italy, in Spain, France, or something like that. And then we start to fight, but we did not have resources to fight, and we didn't have a mind how to fight that. I can tell you that in most part of the European countries, in the member states of the European Union, we closed our infection sections in the hospitals because we did not have an infection or a disease, that kind of a disease for 50 years, and we did not need it. And then the corona came, and then we start fighting, and luckily, Chinese experts addressed to us, we addressed to them, and they came to Serbia. Chinese help and experts came in 2 levels. First level was transport of the Chinese medical equipment, because at the very beginning, we need more equipment, like most of the countries, not only masks and the special suits, but also respirators and special medical equipment. And thanks to Chinese people, we got it. There are almost 10 planes that landed in Belgrade, you know, bringing that crucial equipment. But the most important of all is visiting of the Chinese doctors who came to Belgrade, giving us at the very beginning of the epidemic, giving us their experience. Thanks to them, and mixed with our experience and without experts, we put this epidemic under the control. And that is the most important thing. What I'm telling is that Serbia, for the moment, they have 8,500 infected people and only 168 people dead. And that is thanks to the measures that we try to arrange with Chinese partners. And that is very important. That means with Chinese partner, we introduce measures like additional hospitals, like sort of isolation methods, and all other methods that was applying to the fighting against coronavirus. And we were very successful about that. And that is my short briefing. Again, thank you for listening to me, and I'm ready to answer all your questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. This was a wonderful statement. We hope all nations can work together in this same manner. Thank you very much. We will definitely have questions for you. To Dr. Gui, this question is to His Excellency Ambassador from Serbia, because you mentioned the cooperation, the great cooperation you have with China, both on the pandemic mitigation, but also on infrastructure development. Now, the person asking the question from Denmark is saying as the Belt and Road is an all-inclusive initiative, wouldn't it be better to also include Europe, the EU, and the United States into this kind of cooperation? Because as President Xi Jinping has said, this is not a Chinese project, it's not an exclusive club, it's an all-inclusive cooperation. So what do you think the European Union and the United States be contributing to this process? But please make the answer short.
Our position is very clear. Everybody who is willing to participate to that project is then can join the project. I mean, why not? That's the aim of the project, to widespread. Our aim, what I mentioned, is that we have now building rail link between Budapest and Belgrade, European Union country and the candidate country. Now, if you want to go to the European Union, to the Budapest from Belgrade, you need 3.5 hours. With the railroad that we are going to finish in 2 years' times, that period will be 1.5 hours. That means, of course, everybody should include, and it's a la carte. Everybody can choose how they can give support to that project and what is the benefit of the project. That, I think that's the aim of the project. And in that sense, I support all the countries who are willing to participate to join that Belt and Road Initiative. Thank you.